Whispers from the past, the ancient origins of Halloween. Deepening the roots, SAH-WHEN's historical foundations. Nestled within the lush rolling hills and meadows of what we today identify as Ireland, the UK and segments of northern France, the ancient Celts lived in harmony with nature. Their daily lives, steeped in pastoral rhythms, were inextricably intertwined with the changing of the seasons, a cyclical dance that determined their agricultural practices, rituals, and very way of life. One of the key pillars of this seasonal cadence was the festival of SAH-WHEN. More than just marking a date on the calendar, SAH-WHEN encapsulated a profound transition. As the golden hues of summer faded, giving way to the graying skies and shorter days, the Celts prepared not just for the physical challenges of winter, but for its symbolic implications as well. The starkness of winter, with its barren trees and frozen fields, was not just a testament to nature's dormancy. It was a poignant reminder of the transience of life. Each gust of the cold wind whispered tales of mortality, making the season a tangible representation of the impermanence that is an inherent aspect of human existence. For the Celts, this period wasn't merely about the apprehension of what lay ahead. SAH-WHEN became a space for introspection, acceptance, and reverence. While the impending cold promised challenges, it also brought with it an opportunity to remember ancestors, to honor the cyclical nature of existence, and to prepare both physically and spiritually for the trials of winter. The gravity with which the Celts regarded SAH-WHEN is a testament to their deep connection with the natural world. For them, the festival was more than an acknowledgement of seasonal change. It was a moment of unity with nature, a harmonious blend of respect, fear, and anticipation as they stood at the threshold of winter, looking ahead with resilience and hope. The ethereal realm of SAH-WHEN, a convergence of life and afterlife. SAH-WHEN, for the ancient Celts, transcended the mere recognition of a change in weather patterns. It was an immersion into a deep spiritual journey where the earthly and the ethereal danced in tandem. The festival was a celebration, but not one just of weather patterns. It was an acknowledgement of life's intricate web of beginnings, endings, and continuities. As October bid its final adieu, the Celts envisioned a world where the stringent borders separating the living from the deceased dissolved. It was a night where the very fabric of reality seemed more pliable, more permeable. Under the canopy of the starlit sky, it was believed that souls, no longer confined by their mortal constraints, meandered freely. Some sought the warmth of familial bonds, hoping to reconnect, if only fleetingly, with their kin. Others, perhaps newer spirits, yearned for the familiarity of the life they had recently departed from. Still, others might have wandered in search of redemption, reconciliation, or simply a moment of peace. Within this ethereal tapestry, the Druid priests held a special place. They were not mere spectators of this spiritual ballet, they were its choreographers. On any given day, a Druid was respected for his wisdom and spiritual prowess, but on the eve of SAH-WHEN, his role took on an even greater significance. With the realms so closely intertwined, these priests were believed to possess an enhanced clarity of vision. The night, thick with spiritual energy, amplified their intuitive abilities, allowing them to gaze deeper into the mysteries of existence. The visions and prophecies they gleaned on this sacred night were not taken lightly. For the community, these insights shaped decisions, charted the course for the year ahead, and even influenced personal destinies. More than just directives, however, these prophecies were sources of solace. The dark winter months, with their uncertainty and challenges, loomed large. But with the guidance of the Druids, the Celts felt better equipped to navigate these times, their paths illuminated by the lantern of hope, wisdom, and spiritual connection that SAH-WHEN provided. In essence, SAH-WHEN was a night of unity, a unity of the past with the present, of the living with the deceased, and of humanity with the mysteries of the cosmos. It was a testament to the Celts' profound understanding of life's interconnectedness and their unwavering reverence for all its phases. Sacred flames and shadows, embracing the SAH-WHEN traditions. At the heart of the SAH-WHEN celebration, set against the backdrop of a darkening sky, were the mesmerizing bonfires. Their prominence in the festivities was not accidental. Far from mere illuminative sources, these fires were bastions of protection. They stood as formidable barriers against the unseen malevolent forces that the Celts believed roamed freely on this night. The flames, crackling and dancing, were thought to possess a purifying energy capable of banishing any remnants of negativity or ill will from the past year. Around these protective fires, the Celts would congregate. The rhythmic patterns of their dances, often spiraling and cyclical, were reflective of their deep appreciation for the natural world and its endless cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. For some, the energy of the night, coupled with the fire's warmth, would stir a boldness in their spirits, leading them to leap over the flames in a symbolic act of overcoming obstacles or heralding a fresh start. SAH-WHEN was also a visual spectacle, marked by its unique sartorial choices, clad in costumes crafted from animal skins and adorned with heads. The Celts made a striking picture. While these attires could be perceived as a means to harness the primal energies of the wild, they also served a protective function. By assuming these guises, they believed they could either deter restless spirits or simply blend in, avoiding any unwarranted spectral attention. Commensality, or the act of sharing a meal, was a cherished part of SAH-WHEN. The Celts, bound by kinship and community, would come together in a grand feast. The dishes prepared were not just for the living. In a poignant gesture of remembrance, they reserved places at their tables for the dearly departed, honoring their memory and acknowledging their continued presence in spirit. This act transformed the feast from a mere culinary gathering to a deeply spiritual communion. Yet, amid the retrospection, SAH-WHEN was also a forward-looking festival. It beckoned the Celts to peer into the veil of the future. Divination rituals, ranging from the light-hearted apple-bobbing to the more introspective practices of interpreting dreams, were integral to the festivities. By seeking insights into the unknown, the Celts hoped to arm themselves with knowledge, ensuring they were well prepared for the challenges and opportunities the coming year might present. In its entirety, SAH-WHEN was a multifaceted festival, interweaving the threads of remembrance, protection, community, and foresight into a rich tapestry that celebrated the full spectrum of life and beyond. Feralia, the Roman ancestral commemoration. Amidst the vast and diverse tapestry of ancient festivals, Feralia holds a unique space in the annals of Roman tradition. Situated at the crossroads of remembrance and veneration, this festival offers a fascinating glimpse into the spiritual and familial values of Roman society. The Romans, renowned for their pantheon of gods and myriad of festivals, were not solely focused on the grandeur and might of their deities. They equally valued their connection to their ancestors, understanding the importance of lineage and the spiritual foundation upon which Rome was built. In late October, as the leaves turned golden and the air grew crisp, the Romans turned their attention to the spirits of their departed loved ones, culminating in the observance of Feralia. Feralia marked the conclusion of Parentalia, an extended festival that spanned nearly a week. Parentalia wasn't about the pomp and extravagance often associated with Roman celebrations. It was a deeply personal time. Families would come together, free from the distractions of daily life, and turn their thoughts and prayers to those who had passed on. This was not just an act of remembrance, but of veneration and gratitude, acknowledging the ancestors' role in shaping their lives and the continued legacy of the family. The choice of late October for Feralia is poignant. Much like the Celts' SAH-WHEN, the Romans perceived this time as a thinning of the veil between the realms of the living and the dead. The transition from the vitality of summer to the dormancy of winter mirrored the human journey from life to the afterlife, making it a fitting period for such commemorations. It's worth noting that while Rome was an empire of vast territories, conquests, and differing cultures, the observance of Feralia, with its emphasis on family and ancestral ties, reveals a more intimate and vulnerable side of Roman society. It underscores the universal human yearning to connect with the past, to understand one's roots, and to seek blessings and guidance from those who walked the earth before. Rituals and practices of Feralia. The spirit of Feralia, though deeply ingrained in the Roman consciousness, manifested in ways that starkly contrasted the typical vibrant festivities Rome was known for. This was a time of solemnity and introspection, where the bustling streets of the empire gave way to hushed reverence. Offerings to the departed. Central to the observance of Feralia were the graveside offerings. Families would journey to the tombs of their ancestors, bearing gifts meant to honor and appease the spirits of the departed. Among these offerings, wreaths symbolized remembrance and respect, a circular emblem of the eternal nature of life and death. Grains, the fruits of the earth, were also presented as symbols of sustenance and the cyclical relationship between the living and the earth. However, perhaps the most distinctive offering was the libum, a type of cake. This delicacy, carefully prepared by family members, served as a tangible link between them and their ancestors. Offering libum was not just about nourishing the spirits, but also about the continuity of family traditions and recipes passed down through generations. A break from the norm. Feralia's somber undertone permeated various aspects of Roman society. The usually lively public temples would remain closed, signaling a collective moment of introspection and spirituality that transcended the boundaries of individual households. This closure underlined the importance of private worship during Feralia, emphasizing the personal nature of the ancestral connection. Moreover, the prohibition of marriages during Feralia is telling. It speaks to the Roman belief in the sanctity of the festival and the potential influence of the spirit world. To embark on a new marital journey during this time might risk upsetting or drawing the undue attention of ancestral spirits. Lastly, the sight of Roman magistrates without their insignia was a poignant reminder of the festival's egalitarian spirit. Stripped of their symbols of power and authority, they too stood as mere mortals, paying homage to their ancestors. It was a humbling sight, emphasizing that, in the face of mortality and ancestral veneration, all Romans, regardless of rank or status, were equal. In essence, Feralia was a time when Rome, an empire known for its grandeur, paused to introspect, to remember, and to honor the bonds of family and ancestry. It was a testament to the deep-rooted belief in the afterlife and the enduring connection between the living and those who had passed on. Pomona, the Roman celebration of nature's bounty. In the vast tapestry of ancient festivals that colored the Roman calendar, Pomona was a celebration distinct from the introspective nature of Feralia. It was a time of revelry, where nature's gifts were at the forefront, and the deity overseeing this bounty was the goddess Pomona. Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit trees, orchards, and gardens, epitomized the essence of nature's vitality and generosity. Her very name, derived from the Latin pomum, meaning fruit, underscores her dominion over the succulent bounties of the earth. As the guardian of orchards and gardens, Pomona was not a deity of the grand pantheon, but was deeply ingrained in the everyday lives of Romans, especially those involved in agriculture and horticulture. Celebrations in honor of Pomona did not dwell on themes of death, spirits, or the afterlife, which set it apart from the more solemn observances of Feralia. Instead, it was an affirmation of life, growth, and nature's continual gifts. The festival of Pomona was a testament to the cyclical nature of the seasons, marking the time when trees and plants bore fruit in abundance, filling the Roman larders and ensuring sustenance for the months to come. However, the significance of the timing of Pomona cannot be overlooked. Its proximity to festivals like SAH-WHEN and Feralia led to a cultural osmosis over time, particularly as the Roman Empire expanded its territories and interacted with various indigenous cultures. While the core essence of Pomona remained centered around nature's bounty, there were inevitable blendings and adaptations of customs. The Celts' SAH-WHEN, with its rich tapestry of rituals and beliefs surrounding the thinning veil between worlds, and the Roman Feralia, a time of ancestral veneration, could not help but influence and be influenced by the celebratory spirit of Pomona. In this blending of traditions, we find the nascent roots of modern Halloween. The lines between these festivals became blurred, And what emerged was a synthesis of customs, the celebration of life and nature from Pomona, the reverence for the dead from Feralia, and the spiritual mystique of SAH-WHEN. Together, they created a rich mosaic of practices and beliefs that have, over centuries, evolved into the Halloween we know today. As the autumnal leaves painted the Roman landscape in hues of gold and crimson, the festival of Pomona brought its own vibrant traditions, reflecting the goddess's effervescent spirit and her dominion over orchards and gardens, a celebration of life and fertility. At the heart of Pomona's festivities were joyous gatherings characterized by games, music, and dancing. Unlike the more somber observances of festivals like Feralia, Pomona's celebrations were marked by a lively atmosphere. Romans would come together, often in orchards or gardens dedicated to Pomona, to revel in the abundance of the season. Musicians would play uplifting tunes on lyres and flutes, setting the rhythm for dances that celebrated the cyclical nature of life and the earth's continual renewal. Apple bobbing, origins and symbolism. One of the standout features of the Pomona festival, which still resonates in contemporary Halloween traditions, is apple bobbing. The apple, a fruit closely associated with the goddess Pomona, was symbolic of love and fertility. In the Roman context, apples were often gifted as tokens of love and admiration. The act of apple bobbing involves trying to catch or bite an apple, floating in water, without using one's hands. It is believed that this activity originated from the Pomona festival. Given the apple's connection to love and fertility, it's not surprising that the game took on a divinatory aspect. Young men and women would engage in apple bobbing, and successfully catching an apple was seen as a favorable omen, predicting romantic prospects or even future marital bliss. Over time, as cultural interactions occurred and traditions melded, apple bobbing became not just a game, but a form of divination. Just as SAH-WHEN had its own divinatory practices looking into the future, so did Pomona in the form of this playful yet symbolic activity. While the primary focus of Pomona was the celebration of nature's bounty, it was also a time of joy, revelry, and even a touch of romantic anticipation. The festival's practices, especially apple bobbing, served as a bridge between the old world's beliefs and the evolving traditions that would eventually shape modern Halloween. Through these rituals, the ancient Romans paid homage to Pomona, celebrating the life-affirming gifts of nature, while also seeking guidance and blessings for their personal lives.